Reloop updates their entry-level turntable, Hulu and Spotify reach an agreement that's pretty interesting for Spotify users, we get an actual pre-order date for that phase, and Maschine gets a cool new update. Find out more coming up. Thank you for watching PDot TV, where you'll find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. Now let's get into the video. Recently at the BPM show, Reloop announced their brand new RP-4000 MK2. Now the RP-4000 is Reloop's entry-level turntable, and this new MK2 just has a couple upgrades for their entry-level market. Now, this thing isn't gonna replace the 7000 or the 8000, and if you can spend the extra cash, I still would suggest going for the 7000 or 8000 if you're interested in Reloop turntables. But this 4000 has some, kind of nice updates and upgrades from its first Mark I version. First up, the new buttons. These are new, more metallic feeling buttons, so you'll get more of that feel of that classic Technics 1200 style, start, stop, 45 and 33 buttons. So it feels a little bit more higher quality in that regard, which is always nice for an entry-level turntable. Secondly, they've updated the pitch adjustment to be more in line with the Technics turntable as well. So now you get +or-8 as well as +or-16. So this, in my opinion, makes it a really nice turntable for the entry-level market, because when you move into turntables, if you're gonna stick with turntables, to the pioneers or even the more expensive Techniques, if you still find them in the club, you're gonna get used to +or-8 or +or-16. Some of the lower end turntables have +or-10, +or-20, which can kind of throw you off a little bit if you're mixing and you're used to moving the fader, the pitch fader in certain increments. Having that +or-8 from the beginning is a really good way to practice. And finally, they've given this turntable a little bit more torque, but again, this isn't nearly the amount of torque you would get from an actual pro grade turntable. So if you want a turntable that you can really cut on and really scratch on, I still would suggest saving up that extra money and going for a straight handpin design turntable like the RP-7000 or the RP-8000. So monsters in streaming in their respective media platforms, Hulu and Spotify, have teamed up to come up with a great deal, especially for existing Spotify users. So currently, Spotify is about $10 a month. For an extra $3 a month, you can get access to all of Hulu's library. So this isn't really beneficial if you're a Hulu subscriber and want to hop on Spotify, but I know the majority of people that have streaming services, a lot of you guys use Spotify, and in my opinion, it has one of the best platforms for discovering new music. So if you are a current subscriber of Spotify, for an extra $3, you can get all your favorite TV shows. Be it, there are some commercial breaks with this extra $3. It's not the higher tier of Hulu, but for $3, you get all this streaming content. Definitely well worth it in my opinion. So everybody in the turntablist world started going crazy once FaZe was announced and showcased at this year's NAMM. And finally, FaZe has announced the pre-order date, and that date is right around the corner. On April 25th, you will be able to pre-order your FaZe. So if you've been interested in this product, I mean, it's a great, step in technology as well as price point, and you want to get into the whole FaZe platform, April 25th, definitely hop on their website and get to pre-ordering. And finally, Native Instruments has updated Maschine software to version 2.7.3. Now this update, even though it sounds like a small incremental update, adds some really cool features and really powerful features in my opinion. First up has to be the new loop record function. Now it's really strange, and everybody's been asking why Maschine hasn't had this feature in the past, where you'll be able to go ahead and loop record. So over and over again, you can get the audio input and loop record over it. There's a lot of performers out there, like beatboxers, for example, that need that function to, do their performances. And before this update, if you wanted to do that kind of thing, it really wasn't possible on Maschine. So now to have that function where you can have, your set loop length running, record through it once, and it'll just keep going back and still play back the audio you recorded, as well as recording something over it, opens up the realm of performance possibilities for Maschine users out there. So if you have a current Maschine and you've been waiting for this feature, it's finally here. Now in previous updates to the software, we finally got the ability to record into different parts of the software, but that loop record function was missing. So if you are a performer that uses these kind of loops, this is definitely the kind of upgrade that you've been waiting for. So that's it for the news this week. So question of the day, are you gonna be pre-ordering FaZe? Go ahead and leave that down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And as always, if you found this video useful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click right here to subscribe to this channel. Or if you'd like to watch more content, go ahead and click on that video right there. And thank you for watching PDot TV, where you'll find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. See you next time.